another magic minute. It's another magic minute, just in case you might forget it. Like I said, it's for the fans who scream, yo, magic. No matter where you are. In the car, if these near or far. One more time, I'ma tell you who we are. It's another magic minute. It's another magic minute, just in case you might forget it.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy J Curve back in the building with another Magic Minute podcast. And yo, we've been gone for a while. I know y'all haven't seen us in a minute, but we're back with season 2. We had to get some things in order. We had to get some, some housekeeping done. You know what I'm saying? But we're back with you guys, man. Just say what's up to the guys. Guys, how y'all been?
Couldn't get rid of us. Back. We are back in business, ready to go and take on the second half. We already passed the 41 game mark. So let's talk about the second half. Let's get it going. How you doing, Grails? Haven't seen you in a minute.
I promise I'll behave. We won't talk about the M.
Yes.
Oh man, not the big M. We won't even go there.
Little M. No. Magic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dolly, you already know.
Don't let Grails infiltrate your mind like that. If anybody wants to know what we're talking about, is Grails moved here from Miami, and so we always give him stuff about being a Heat fan and that Heat culture stuff. But we'll bring him around from the red to the blue.
I'm a Magic fan, man, but I also support all Florida teams. I've said it 1,000 times. At least I support Florida teams, not New York teams. Previously from New York.
I don't support. I don't know what you're talking about. The past. I'm moving forward. I don't be talking about exes like that, yo. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was before he donned the mask. That was his past life,
Yep, exactly, man.
That was before me, so I don't know. I know he's from New York, so you don't forget your roots.
Oh man. So yeah, let's just catch up, man.
Speaking of Miami, they're right on our tail right now, man. Especially after what happened. So I don't know. Do you want to jump right into the Magic season? Let's talk about
let's talk about it. We start early. Everybody was injured. We had a couple injuries. Paulo went down early with the groin. Franz followed him right up groin. I don't know what is the deal with everybody following the pattern of the same injuries with each other.
Franz went out with Jalen went out with the groin, but Franz went out with that nasty ankle injury from that.
That was after.
Yeah,
he came back. He came back from the groin and went out with the ankle again. Remember?
Oh my goodness!
So,
and then Jalen this season, doesn't it?
Yeah, Jalen came in, got hurt, went out, got hurt again. He's hurt right now, so it's just been a lot. But during that time, Paulo went down. We seem to have struck something with our bench guys that we were winning a lot. And there, as NBA fans do, there was chatter going around. Oh, are we better without Paulo? Is he really that guy? The whole narrative was real weird. And then, needless to say, he's a young guy, so it seemed like that kind of infiltrated it a little bit to what he was doing on the court. So when he did come back, it was a little different. It seemed like he was letting that noise, come in. How do you guys feel about that?
Go ahead, Grails. You go first.
Well, I don't think that the whole Paulo thing, we should make it a bigger deal than what it is. I think that he was down as a leader, as the face of the organization. I think he just has to come to terms that, sometimes being the leader means stepping aside and letting your guys shine. And I think he's coming to terms with those. We're not playing Paulo ball, we're playing Magic ball. And I think we've seen those adaptations with him, in the last few games.
Right. To that point, in the last few games, he did say something. I know we'll get to the last few games, but he did say something about, my usage hasn't been, as high as it was in the past 3 years, but it's about winning. So, Matthew, what you got to say about that?
So for me, I think one thing we need to level set right from jump is this offseason. We got Desmond Bane, so we got rid of Cole, which was one of our energy pieces, a big vital part of this. We got rid of KCP, which is fine because we replaced him with Desmond. It's a great pickup. But we also got to understand that it's a whole half of our team was swapped out. We had 7 people that are no longer part of the Magic, and we got 7 new people that are now part of the Magic. So we have to take that into account. Not only that is we have 2 new assistant head coaches, so we had to change there. So we had to change, going from the bench to the office. So it's been a lot of fluctuation. So of course there was going to be some growing pains. Like it wasn't going to be let's just pick up from last season, let's keep it trucking. Yes, our core for the most part is still the same. But you think about it this way: 20% of our lineup changed up because we got Dez instead of KCP being in our starting lineup, and then dealing with Mo coming off Mo still being out. It was a lot. It was a lot. We started off 1-4, which when you think about it, yeah, it sucked because there was a lot of expectations, but we have an entire season, and so we went through those ups and downs, those peaks and valleys, the in and out, the lineup changes, But to your point, one thing that happened with Paolo being out is out of necessity, we had to go dig deep in our bench. I think we found some nuggets of gold, and so I'm a faithful guy. And I think things happen for a reason, and I think we're going to look back and see the first half of the season as a blessing in disguise.
And so that, to add to that, to Paulo's credit, there was a lot of chatter going on from a lot of big guys in the league, and we posted on our page the Tracy McGrady comments that he made about when Paulo's on the side. Now, I don't know if it got misconstrued, but I think a lot of them were speaking to his greatness rather than to what he wasn't doing on the court. I think they were speaking to, you have a different vantage point right now. You can sit there and watch what's happening, and you can come back and fill in the gaps, making it easier for you to get your buckets, which seems to be what he's doing in these last few games. And it's a lot easier for him to get these 20-point games than it was before. He was getting triple team, quadruple team sometimes, and he would have to pass it. Now he just has to work on, getting downhill and not turning the ball over right into somebody's hands, which has been a thing we've been dealing with since he got here. Just dribbling right into someone's hands. But that's just fine tuning. He's got to get his game back. He's got to get that handle back. Once you come back, your legs first come back. After you get that, then you got to get your rhythm and your handle back. So he's got to get all that in order. But his attitude is where it needs to be. I'm glad to see he's bought into the system that we're playing. I'm glad to see, all the narratives about him and Coach. That was super whack. I didn't want anybody to keep going with that. I like Coach. I like what he's doing. I see how they talk to each other. I see how the team responds to Coach. He's a player himself, so of course he's going to get passionate and probably say things that are, get carried away sometimes. But you know how locker rooms get. So I just don't like the narratives of everything. Everybody has their space. You guys correct me if I'm wrong or however y'all feel about it. I'm not speaking for all three of us. I'm just, speaking.
For me, it's just we have a lot of quote unquote fans, which are just there just to dog. They wanna enjoy the limelight, but they ain't with it to go through the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Those are fake fair weather fans. They're the ones that are squeaky wheeling it, saying trade Paolo's garbage, this and that. I think like to your point, what you were saying about the Tracy McGrady clip is that it's us real fans who've been watching the growth of Paolo since he's been drafted in the league. It's a frustration because we know what he is capable of. We know the athletic freak that he is, being his body frame with the court awareness and vision that he has. It's frustrating to see like a pause in development, and we understand that a lot of that has to do with the injury. But you know what? A coworker of mine sent me like scouting report on Paolo, and like just got it. Deadass got it right down to the point where if he's posting up, dribble back in, dribble, spin to the right. Someone's gonna come in, and everybody knows it. Like you can see the moment he posts up, we all know the exact movement he's gonna do. And the one thing is, the great ones do that. Hakeem, you knew he was gonna do the dream shake, but the one thing, biggest difference is you couldn't stop it. With Paolo,
stop it.
All you need is someone coming on the weak side, boom, the little point guard just sneak right in, boom, pop it out, and then they're off to the races. And that's why his turnovers are still high. So I think one thing to really clarify is differentiate the fact that what the real fans are saying is we're frustrated. Any negativity that may come off is us being frustrated because we know the greatness that he is capable of, and we want to see more of that. These other haters and these guys who are fair weather fans, they're not real Magic fans because they haven't dealt with the struggle that we've dealt with. They don't know what it takes to keep a marriage afloat. When you go through the rough patches, because that's what this is as fans. We're married to the Magic. I mean, look at this every day, all day. But
exactly.
Those fake fans, they just want let's see what and no, it takes time to cultivate and develop something beautiful and magical. And y'all fake fans go somewhere else. us real fans, we're gonna be here and we're gonna support each other as we see the Magic go through this rough patch, go through these up and downs and these figure it outs. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
And not just the real fans, like the real basketball minds know that Paolo and the Magic are capable of a lot more. To bring it, to more recent times, they were talking to Udonis Haslem, I think either the Berlin game or the game. Yeah, it was the Berlin game. They were talking to Blake Griffin, Udonis Haslem, and a couple people. Udonis started off, "Hey, Paolo, from where I'm sitting, is it frustrating for you? Because from where I'm sitting, it's frustrating to watch you guys who come in leading with your defense and are such a defensive minded team to not be playing the same caliber of defense, and the team that whose defense kind of ignites your offense. Is it frustrating for you knowing what you guys are capable of?" Those last few words in the sentence, knowing what you guys are capable of. We know what you can do. We know as fans what needs to happen and what's going on. So like most of the time as fans, we're like, "Hey, what's happening? Did you guys not stretch enough? Did you need some breakfast? What happened? What is it? What's going on?" So
Udonis and Wade said it in the last interview that they're fans of Paolo. Stop jabbing. Stop jabbing. You're going to wake up the bear, bro. So,
Did the colors just change behind them to Miami colors? Is that what happened?
So, talking about what they mentioned is they both mentioned their respect and their love for Paolo. They love what Paolo is capable of doing. And Wade actually that said he had a minute where he spoke to Paolo privately about his approach to the game. And I hope that advice, Paolo seems like a player that when he talks to veterans, he adapts the knowledge and the advice is given. So I'm hoping that what Wade and Udonis spoke to him about, we do see it translate on the court. Now, with that being said, my personal take is I'd like to see him play more in the paint. He's more efficient versus when he's running in the ball or he's out in the arc. His ability of being able to turn in the paint and making those plays, making those points, and even passing the ball from inside the paint to someone else is open, he is 99% more efficient than when he is running in the ball and trying to play around the arc to try to make those threes that sometimes just don't go in. And I think that his mental psyche also plays against him, because when he's got 3 shots that don't go in, you could see his play change. You could see the demeanor change. You could see, but it's also that we're talking about, for us, grown folks that have been watching the game for over, 30 years, they're kids. So it's still that child mindset of, man, get your head in the game and get out of your that headspace where you're costing the game. We saw that today in London. We saw we saw how that a 20-point, spread just killed the entire team, and we need to get away from that. We need to play.
Yeah, we need to stop. First of all, we need to stop getting in the hole like that. I mean, the one thing what is Magic culture has always been started and ended with defense. We all know that defense travels. My question is, did they just leave defense at home? Because it hasn't been traveling with them. Like, what one thing I noticed is the thing that frustrates me the most, and I really hope that my loud voice, that they can hear me in the stadium when I scream out, but stop arguing about these calls to the ref in game. I mean, a couple times already, we've seen a 4-on-5. Candace Parker mentioned it in the Berlin game. She's like, "Oh, it's a 4-on-5 because Paolo's back there arguing with the ref." Like,
he did not make it back at all. That was so frustrating.
Then how do you play Magic defense when you don't have your whole entire squad to play defense? You know what I'm saying? But at the same rate, why aren't we starting the game off defensively? There is something that broke from, and I get lineups and stuff like that. But AB knows the assignment. He knows how to plug in for Jalen. Desmond, of course, is going to took him a little learning curve, but I think he got it. He understands the assignment. So where is the disconnect that we're not playing Magic defense? Like the offense stuff, cool. Guess what? We got shooters, we got spacing, we can do all that stuff. Follow in the post, work on his dribble because he still dribbles like this, like a like a 2-year-old. But if he could just drop back and go hard and stop, I think, and this goes for most of our team, stop driving for the foul. You know there's a good 80% chance you're not gonna get the call. So just try to make the basket, and then if not, run back.
I
You ain't
got you.
Shay.
I got you. Coach Curve, right here. Ready? Paulo, focus the first half on all rebounds, all assists, and blocks. You can get your cleanup buckets. You'll end up the first half with 11, 12 points just off cleaning up around the rim. But you'll have 10 to 11 rebounds. We need offensive rebounding. We don't have that. We need more defensive rebounds than just Goga and Wendell fighting on the long ball or trying to get there and muscle in. That Paulo is a perfect place holder for that right there. Rebounding, and he's already dropping dimes. If you focus on your rebounding, your assists, and getting a couple blocks in the first half, the second half, you can just score. All of your guys are on. All of your guys are hot. You've got them in their spots that they need to be, and they can score and do whatever they need to do in the second half because they're already warm. And now you can have the double team fall back a little bit because your other guys are demanding defense. Get straight to the basket. You can do that Shaq move like he did the other night when he drop step, came up, and I was like, this is what I've been waiting on.
This is the guy you see.
This is what I've been waiting on. We know you can do it. So any disparaging remarks you might hear from the Magic Minute platform, whether it's me, Grails, or Magico, we all are telling you from a place of love, and we know what you can do, bro. So like, Coach Curve is out of here, but hey man, y'all can do this.
now that we kind of like we gave our critique. Let's talk about the was it the silver lining,
the shining points, because there was a lot. And we're gonna cross the boundary. We're gonna bring Paulo right over to the good side too, because he even had some moments in this season here. The game winner he hit on. Who was it? The game winner was on
the Nets.
The Nets. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. You already heard him. You heard what he said. And he didn't have a great game that game. Like, it was somebody else's game.
People are talking about the Nets. Yo, the Nets put the Nuggets away, man. Like 2 days beforehand. Yeah. So like let's
Michael Porter Jr.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Michael Porter Jr.'s game back. He almost had a record game that game against us. He was on it. The rookie, he was on it. It was that type of game. So don't give me that noise about, oh well, it was the Nets. Come on, go somewhere with that. But another silver lining. Can we talk about the ascension of AB? All business and Blicky. Oh,
yes,
beautiful.
Sir.
Rails, you started
like wow.
About AB. I know you've been the man. Go ahead, tell us.
I've been saying it. AB, listen. The best thing that happened to AB is AB's got a private trainer that travels with him. Great guy. But this season with Shammgod, he worked all summer with Shammgod, and you can see his development. You can see. Now, this is why I said in the first couple of episodes of our podcast is I would love to see AB start the bench, leave Suggs coming off the bench, and not that he's better than Suggs. Suggs has that energy. Suggs plays with his heart, but to conserve Suggs' career. Suggs is now a vet that could also guide the new generation coming, like AB. So I love what AB's doing coming into the starting lineup. He's killing it. Tonight, he had 19 points. He had the highest points in today's game. He's been averaging 20 plus points per game. The kid is just phenomenal. I stand behind him. I look forward to seeing how great he becomes. And mark my words, people are talking about this dunk that he just did over 4 players in Berlin. That is just the tip of the iceberg of what this kid is bringing to the league. Just watch.
So
you can see
because in just this last game, which I'm trying to forget because this London game, I was so angry. I don't think I couldn't even watch the second half hardly because it was just bad. But in talking about Anthony Black, Candace Parker even said, she said, just lock it down. Most improved player. And he's been playing like it. I mean, that dunk in Berlin, I mean, it was a beautiful thing. I mean, it went viral. I think it had one of I think it broke a record for the one of the most viewed clips on NBA.com because it was just that nasty. I mean, and other people have dunked but this was everybody had a hand on it. He got fouled. You saw JJJ's arm right here. He got
all
fouled.
on his head.
This guy got brutalized and still threw it down on him. So the emergence of AB, I'm loving everything about it. The kid's humble. The kid's great.
And he's got the right people around him. He's got, the coach that I was talking about, his developmental coach is Charles Hill. Guy works with a couple of other players. And I've talked to him in the past last season. It's just when you hear what he has to say about Black as a person, as a up and coming young man, how humble he is, how he studies the game, how he listens to everybody's criticism and he takes it as constructive, and he's constantly working. He's in the gym 2 and 3 times, in the day, working on drills, working on his shooting. That's dedication. That's what I love to see about him. And that inspires the new players, the rooks, when they come in, when they see, man, he's hungry, man, he's working. And I also think that when the other players see him, like Wendell or Goga, and they see him, that it also motivates the rest of the team. Yeah. It's like, hey, you know what? It's truly Mamba mentality. Like, you're working when everybody else is playing.
What about you, Curve? You in with us?
Hey man, AB. Listen, he's had a fan out of me since last season when we were outside. He kept stopping to say hi to everybody. Every person, the person before the player is always who I see. So the fact that he stops for every single person that wants to talk to him, give him a little bit of conversation, and then keeps it moving, and he's emerging into the player that he's becoming right now I'm just excited to see what he's gonna be. Now, to Garel's point, I do respect the idea of having Jalen come off the bench, but I don't know what's the word I'm looking for? Financially, economically, if that's gonna be yeah. So he's getting paid, so you gotta put him out there. But I do see what you're saying, especially because I want Jalen Suggs to be a lifer for the Magic. I do want to preserve him for as long as we can with his balls to the wall mentality, but at the same time, he's getting starter money. So when AB gets his new contract, then maybe we can figure out how to stagger those minutes. But that's just the economic side of it. I think that's the only reason that won't happen. But I can see what you mean. As far as what's up?
I was gonna say, but one interesting thing that we can do is we can ease Jalen Suggs back from his injury that he's dealing with right now. That contusion. We can be like, yo, come off the bench instead of starting you and then pulling you right out for minutes restriction. Let AB handle the starting lineup. You come in with the bench, and ease your way back into the starting lineup. No one's saying that he's taking your job, but let's think about this smartly because, like we're all saying, is we love Jalen Suggs. He is our heart and soul. We already mentioned that. He is our modern day Darrell Armstrong. He is our heart and hustle, and nobody's ever going to take that away from him. I take that back because I think, for me personally, but we'll get to that next when we're ready to transition away from AB. But I think Jace is
Jason Richardson. I knew it was. I knew it was
going. What you'll find out here is I absolutely loved the Jace pickup. As soon as they said that we drafted him, I was above on cloud 9. I met his pops back when he was with the Magic. And the guy was great. He is one day younger than my oldest, and so I swear there could have been times where my kid and Jace would have been playing around there. That's how old I am. I could be Jace's dad, man. Yo,
I think we all can, to be honest.
Hey.
Now, here's the last thing I was gonna say, and to the point that I was trying to make. In Dallas, we saw it happen with Kyrie when Kyrie went to Dallas and took a back seat for Luka, right? That's when you understand that sometimes being the mentor is as important as being the starter. And he took that role and took a seat back to let Luka shine. I think if Suggs looks at it with that approach and gives that ability to AB, which AB is doing amazing, right? no, Kyrie's never going to stop being Kyrie, but Kyrie understood, like Dwayne Wade understood when LeBron went to Miami. Hey, I can't be the lead. I got to let Bron lead this team for that championship. And I'm thinking more of a mindset with Suggs and AB. If we approach it that way, that's the way I look at it. If I'm wrong, drop the comments. I want to see what you guys think about that.
Yeah, because I just
that's a championship setup. Like, as long as one guy knows I'm taking the back seat, not even a back seat, I'm just co-piloting. You take this first half of the drive, I take the second half, and we'll get to the destination that we're trying to get to. So, especially with Jalen in his prime. Right, it's a good brotherhood.
Yeah, I disagree with the Kyrie comparison simply because at that point in the Kyrie's career, he had already had his starter minutes. You know what I'm saying? He had already been the guy. He had been the guy before LeBron came. He worked alongside LeBron. So when he went to Dallas, he had his mileage. Suggs is still on the up.
He's just coming into he's just now playing regular full season games. Remember his first 3 seasons, he was in and out, not playing many. Now he's like, I can finally go. No, you can't. Not yet, brother. You gotta take a second.
Remember what I said. Suggs doesn't know anything other than 1,000%. And that 1,000% is going to cut his. I'm sorry?
I said, yeah, he's all gas, no brakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's also a problem. If you want to have a player longevity-wise, if you want to be able to enjoy his play for 10 years, you have to be able to take a sideline to be able to play longer. It's either play hard for 3 years, 2-3 years, or take a sideline to see you for 10 years. Go ahead, man.
Coach Kerr. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in AB as the starter. We're gonna have Desmond Bane running the 2. Figure out the rest of that starting lineup. After that, we're gonna make sure we get Jalen coming in about 5 minutes or so for AB. Let him get a rest. Desmond, you come out. AB, you go back in. Let Jalen and AB start the second quarter together. Let's see how that works out.
Okay.
All right.
I like that. Hey, Chad, drop your comments. We want this episode to be interactive. We want to see your comments down below, and we will respond to those comments on IG. So know that we will listen and we will reply back to you and tag you on it. So let's do this.
So pivoting off of AB, another shining point, as I just started saying, is our draft picks, our rookies, Jace and Noah Penda, El Cero Miedo. Jace, he to me is just as big of a motor as Jalen Suggs. I mean, down to that. I want to say it was in that Brooklyn Nets game. Tyus Jones shot a 3 and, as anticipated, missed it. But Jace was already in the air to drop it down. Tell him my man is barely 6 foot. I think he's lying about being 6 foot. Barely.
He's not.
Over the grown ass centers dunking on him, putting that thing back. That's the type of energy. In fact, he was responsible. That crew, that Noah Penda, Jace, and a bunch of others they were part of that comeback when our starters for some reason decided to phone it in against Washington and brought it almost back, brought us to within 2. Jace was a big part of that. I think we got something special in there. His college coach even said there was something special about starting a freshman into the March Madness. He never does that. Did that with Jace because Jace is that type of player. He's very special. And I get, we drafted Tyus, but I think Tyus has already shown, in giving us enough evidence that Jace should be above Tyus in the rotation lineup.
I'm gonna go on the other side with that. Yes, I want Jace to get out and get his, but not at the expense of the veteran leadership that Tyus provides when he's out there. No, he doesn't score. No, he doesn't do what he needs to do as far as defense sometimes. But he stays in front of his man. Most of the time when he's out there, his man isn't really the guy that's going off scoring. And then on the other side of it, he's not scoring. So they cancel each other out. So, but the pace that he sets when he's running the ball, the spacing that he's in, he gets rebounds, he gets assists. Things that we need in our Magic system right now. We need somebody to set the table and also to be in that right spot to get those clean up rebounds. And he does set a pace. him and Desmond Bane have a good rapport out there when it comes to I'm gonna catch the ball. You already know what to do, and vice versa. If Desmond catches the ball, he knows what to do. It seems like when them two are running the ball together, they figure out some kind of synergy out there to 1-2 it, no matter who else is out there with them. So I like that. But Tyus, yeah, I see what you mean as far as the production wise. He does need to produce more points because points wins the game. But at the same time, I think he's necessary for the pace that he sets in that veteran leadership as far as, being in certain spots, knowing where to be, stopping the passing lane, even if it's just stepping over a few inches, just because you know that part of the game. Jason's still wild with it right now. He's everywhere. He wants to be everywhere. He wants to touch everything. But, there's a certain calm that you have in the game when it all slows down to you. And Tyus is there already. And that calm blended with our chaotic basketball that we play in Orlando kind of sets a little even keel for everybody to fit in with a little bit more margin of error because our chaotic system has no base to it. That's what Mo Wagner brings. That's why we're so chaotic right now without any settle down because Mo's out. So, when he comes back, you see we have a little bit more pace. He's in the places that needs to be held down to get the spot up stuff to make it easy for us not to have those quick turnover fast breaks for everybody. So,
we talk about the elephant in the room about Tyus being shopped around.
No, we're not there yet. Not there yet. That's later. What I want to go back on is talking about our silver linings, and obviously we have.
Oh yeah.
Noah Penda, our draft pick. What was it, 24th or whatever? But he was, he's.
I think he was 30 something. He was second round, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're right. He's second round. But he's played overseas, so he came in with knowledge, and we knew because now we have a whole breadth of work of his. We knew where his inadequacies were offensively, and of course we have a good player developer and Sham guy. You want to talk about offense. This guy can hit a three. This guy had it up and under just the other day. This guy is
crossovers.
You look at his back pedal. I mean, it is. He's like you could write a whole lesson plan on proper defense just by watching highlights of Noah doing those little things. That's why I call him. And the one thing is he's a dog. He'll go in there and scrap with anybody. He's quiet about it. He's a humble big man. That's why I be calling him just like in wrestling. There's a guy called Penta, El Cero Miedo, which means the fearless one. And now we got Noah Penda. So I know everybody wants to call him Panda and this and that, but that's soft. Panda's cute and soft. No, Noah Penda is Cero Miedo, fearless, baby. Love that guy.
I call him Pandamodia over here. I call it Pandamodia because when he's on, he's on. So
after the couple games ago, I was calling him the big no because he had like 3-4 blocks out there. I was like, yo, this dude is everywhere.
And
all the rebounds.
Kendra was asking, how do we do the big no? And I'd be like, no.
Nah, that's Dikembe.
No.
You can't take that from Dikembe.
He just stand there? No.
Yep.
I like the whole.
You'll get a technical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't make gestures like that, man.
That's crazy.
So, but to your point, girls, why don't you kick off a little round? Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. One more thing when it comes to the match that we have to talk about silver lining is the biggest news that was in the offseason was the pickup of Desmond Bane. My man.
Yeah.
My man.
DB.
Man, that guy has been responsible for just he got the game winner on my birthday against Portland, which was amazing. And that kind of kicked it off. Of course, we had that slow start, but people trying to figure each other out, this and that. But he's a dog, and he fits our dog mentality. He gets the assignment, and I think he's a great veteran presence. He's a great veteran leadership. We still got young guys, and so especially when it comes to losing your composure. Although on the flip side, the one thing I do love about Desmond Bane is that he's very calculated when he loses his composure. As we saw with the Knicks. He's
making sure people feel respect in Orlando. That's what he's doing. Like, you ain't playing with my brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, I can't wait to see him and Mo Wagner more on the court together, agitating other teams, because this is about to be fun. We ain't had this in
I call 'em-
Orlando in a while.
I want to call them the Bash
They're
Brothers.
like, come out and play. You know,
Right, exactly.
come practice.
But yeah, Desmond. Shout out to Desmond Bane because like he came through. He had 2 game winners. Then he had the 2 37-point games instead of TB3. We about to start calling DB37. But he's been coming through, doing everything, getting to the basket when he needs to get to the basket. Whenever we need a basket, he's a great leader. His leadership skills. He leads with saying very little. Like he's out there, he means business when he's like, "Hey, what we doing, y'all? Come on!" Like if he has to say anything vocally, then we need to get in line. But he leads with his play. So
yeah, one thing I really like, it's just those little things you see. Like if anybody knows, I go to as many games as I can. One thing you see, whether it's off camera or sometimes on there, is the huddle. Last season there was a huddle almost every break and play. There was a huddle. There was a huddle up. The first couple of games, the first probably like good 10 games, there was no huddle. There was no like urgency, and it just felt off. But if you notice now, you start seeing the huddles coming back again. That sense of urgency. So and I think Desmond Bane is a big part of that. Curve and I had a chance to meet Desmond Bane in his first meet and greet signing just about last week, and man, the guy is about as cool as a cat you can talk to. He's a veteran. He's still in his 20s, so we still got some mileage on him. But
right.
Man, and he gets it. He appreciates the fans. I don't know how his experience was in Memphis. We know that he practiced in the dungeon, but and so here we got windows, so that's an upgrade. but he I think he embraces what he has seen. You can see it on the court. You can see it off the court. I think just it was a quality pickup. Everybody keeps asking, "Oh, was it worth it?" All the draft picks. I think he's done quieted that well. I don't even think there's even a question. He's 100% worth every single thing that we paid for him.
And so the team, I mean, Paulo loved the fact that we picked him up. We saw his reaction on his YouTube segment where he talked about where he was when he got the news. The dab heard around the league of him and Coach Mose. He said it the other day. He said, "Man, my hand's still hurting. It hurt for days." So Desmond was definitely worth the pickup. People get nervous. It's like everything in life, right? Somebody makes a decision. We don't agree with it because we don't understand. But as fans, we don't need to understand, what the organization is seeing, what they're looking for. And sometimes you have people like that are visionary that could see 10 steps ahead, when they make their decisions, and everybody else then falls into place understanding why they did the moves that they did. So I'm happy with it.
I don't even think this is that crazy. I think as soon as it happened, everybody was like, yes. There was a small, very vocal minority who was like, he's not worth this many picks. But I think for the most part, us real heads had no qualms about it. We were like, yes.
I think it was the people who don't know basketball that was just like, we didn't know, because they didn't know Desmond Bane from over, not basketball, but don't know Desmond Bane from basketball. Yeah, they didn't know where he was coming from.
They didn't agree the amount of picks that they gave. They didn't understand the sacrifice, which again, the numbers, the picks that were given for him weren't within the first 5 picks anyway. So, I mean, it wasn't something that we were going to see those players' development, come in the first couple of seasons. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of people looking at the quantity of potential players that we might have compared to those picks aren't guaranteed. We don't know who's going to be for those. I can see if you had guys lined up that you have in the next couple of years, you're like, you want those guys. But the picks that we have, are we going to miss them really? If we win the championship or we go to the third or second round of the playoffs or to the finals, whatever, are we really going to miss the second round guy that we don't know yet?
Yeah, exactly. So,
and not for nothing, no shots against Cole or KCP, but Desmond came through and has been producing what both of them were producing together last season for us. Yeah. So, and I love both of those guys. Like,
we saw KCP's playing today, and it wasn't impressive. No, it wasn't impressive.
It was what we knew. It was what we knew what they were going to get. And so that's the other thing is that not only that is I love Cole to death. I mean, he going back to my old New York roots is his pops played for the '90s Knicks, so I have a special place in my heart for Cole Anthony because he again helped me embrace my blueness, help me embrace the magicness of it all. But yeah, but we had to make room because we had someone like Jace. Cole would have cannibalized that Jace time, and we wouldn't have seen what greatness that Jace had, that the potential that he's bringing to this. So things happen for a reason, and I think the Desmond Bane trade was a 1,000% A plus. Even the report cards from the professionals, the actual people who know basketball, they graded it. The lowest I ever seen I saw was an A- on our offseason moves, between the draft picks and the Desmond Bane trade. So, props to that. Now, forward looking, we got some NBA news to discuss, and one of the big things that was highlighted as far as our world goes is the potential trade of Tyus Jones that the Magic are shopping around for trade picks. Now, I understand for draft picks, I get that. One is we got to get the draft picks back that we lost from the Desmond trade. Second of all, we have a very bloated salary with the Supermax extension for Paolo, so we have to get those numbers down. And so I understand it. And to your point, Curve, I did understand that he brings us a lot more than what's in the box score. I say the same thing a lot about Wendell Carter Jr. because people like to hate on him in the beginning of the season for the same reason, because he didn't do this. He does so many things. He's a master at screening. He's a master at those little things that will not show up on a box score, will not affect your plus minus. My personal opinion, plus minuses is the stupidest stat I've ever seen. It just gives you these weird takes that people who don't know basketball run with. So that's just my 2 cents. But I get what you're saying with Tyus Jones. But I think it's a smart move. I want to see the development of Jace. I want to see him get more minutes and grow into being having that Tyus Jones court vision and IQ with his athleticism and 3-point accuracy.
If he can develop a way to control the tempo like Tyus does, he'll be perfect in the league. Like, he already has the athleticism to beat you off the dribble. He's a lefty, which is hard to guard anyway. And then, not to mention, he's getting to the basket at will and willing to fight through that contact to make the N1. So I'm all for his development. If he can, maybe we can do it like we're doing with Jalen and Desmond in the second quarter. You start Tyus and Jace and AB maybe in the third quarter, and then just two bigs because you need somebody to rebound.
Guys, stop planning with Tyus, bro. Tyus ain't gonna be here that long.
What's your thought on this possible trade? Because we're already thinking if they're already shopping them around, more likely than not, someone's gonna want the expiring contract. It's two something, or I forgot, 5 million, 2 million. I forgot the numbers, but someone correct me down there. But either way, we need to free up that money. It looks like it's going to happen. So, what are your thoughts on getting rid of Tyus for some draft capital and kind of running with who we got? Maybe they'll call up another two-way from the G League. So what are your thoughts on us moving Tyus?
Now, wait. If Tyus, knowing that the rumors are that they're going to trade him, I expected to see, even with today's game, I expected to see him ball out. We saw that with Ja. Ja literally balled out today, picking up value in his trade because they're talking about trading him from Memphis. First time that they ever considered, departing from him. We didn't see that from Tyus. We didn't see that hunger, that drive of, hey, let me show another team organization my worth and my value. Maybe I'm not happy here. Huh?
Saw that from Jet, though. Saw that from Jet. Yeah, go ahead.
but yeah, and talking about trades, Jet is another one that they've talked about trading him, and we've seen him ball out. So yeah. I say we keep Jet. We send Tyus, to a new home, and hopefully he could shine in the new home, and we could bring that cap down.
Yeah, well, the thing is that Jet and Tyus play two different positions, so Jet's more of a forward, And but speaking to that point, here's a tough question for you guys. What about Ji? It's a lot of money wrapped up in him for a little bit of minutes, and I don't know. I don't know. Something just feels like just doesn't fit what we're trying to build here. You know, and
It's
again,
tough. But
yeah,
JI it's tough
hard
because
conversation.
it's tough because I know he brings a lot of positivity to the locker room, and I know he keeps those guys accountable on the court. But also, he doesn't get on the court, and he's tying up a lot of money that we could give to like a up and coming fly by big man like a Daniel Gafford or somebody like that. We've heard at the Desmond Bane, we asked a couple people, if you could trade away, and get somebody back on the team. And Daniel Gafford's name came up a few times. Now he would be more expensive than a JI, but the trade package would probably have to include that position for position type thing. But he's an expensive guy for the coaches, and I don't know if it's the coaches or just his play not being up to par. Either way, I don't want to speculate on whichever one it is, but he's not getting on the court, and we know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
too much tied up for 2 little minutes.
That's like getting a starter or a 6-man that doesn't play, that you're paying him, but he's not playing. You know what I'm saying? So like, we got to get something that's, even if you get his contract lower, keep him, on the lower side, and then get somebody to fill that role. If he's not going to play, fill that position defensively. We need a rim protector besides Goga, because Wendell is a more of an offensive guy. He can block shots away from the rim, but as far as at that basket, somebody can get their hand right in between the rim and the guy trying to dunk it. We need that, and we only have one guy that could do that, and not for nothing, Goga's a little fragile at points. So, like, we got to have somebody that's a backup to Goga if that's what we're going to have. And J.I., when he shows greatness, he shows greatness, but then there's 7 games in between we see him again. So, I don't know,
Yeah,
And I
especially
think
at
they kept
that
him.
setup position is we need. Could you imagine someone just a little more elevated at that position? How that would also help unlock Fowler?
the whole team. The whole team. You could have AB driving through, Desmond Bane driving through. Don't have to worry about if somebody's right there to chase him down, because guess what? Off the backboard, boom, right behind me, every time.
Bring
What do you
Vucevic
think,
back.
Grails?
Bring Vucevic
What's
back.
your opinion on J.I. Grails?
He's same age as me. We can't do that. Can't do
Oh
that.
no, here I think they've kept him as long because you had Mo down, right? So you do need somebody to come in and buffer, and he's been that buffer. And he's played his minutes, and the minutes he has played, he's made an impact in those minutes. He's kept us afloat, right? So he's showing his value in the short period that he's played. But I think if we would get like a Sabonis or get, somebody
Get back
you know,
to Sabonis. We had him. We traded
yeah. We're not going to talk about how we lost him.
I don't even think
But I
it's
think
that expensive. Steven Adams, he's
he just resigned. If we were to
I'm
get
thinking
Steven Adams,
youth,
that'd
though.
be locked in.
I'm thinking youth. Don't go veteran big. Go youth big. That way we get him cheaper, then pay him later. We already paid our big guys right now. We get the youth with springy legs, GG Jackson. Somebody
Sometimes
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes you get a vet that's at the end of their career to come in at a lower contract, and it also serves as a vet for the locker room.
For the locker room.
Yeah. Like everybody was happy to get away from Joe, but Joe had value in that locker room. He kept the boys in place. So
Kojo,
Kojo, same thing too. Like I loved it. Yeah. I was sad that he's gone because I thought he kept the locker room.
Everybody's heads.
Yes.
Kept everybody at heads correctly. Like,
what I'm saying? Like that's what I love about Desmond is like, I don't know, there's something that shifts in a man's mentality when they got kids and and you look at the world through different eyes. And I think that, Kojo like really laid a foundation of that type of mentality. Is like, listen, I'm trying to help you guys grow. And I think Desmond's bringing that as well. But to your place, girls, what do you think about Ja? The rumors of him going to Miami.
Man, I can't talk about Miami because I get interrupted.
We're gonna censor that word.
I can't.
Every time
I
somebody
can't
says
get.
it, we're gonna censor
Yeah,
that.
I can't get 10 seconds. I can't get 10 seconds in before my brother, says, "All right, that's enough. That's enough talk." You know,
Hey,
but
so look,
I did
we'll
say,
throw it out there.
but I did say, that if there was a place for Ja to go, and I won't mention destination somewhere down south, about 3.5 hours south of Orlando, it would be to that team or an organization because Pat don't play. That boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Pat's gonna knock that shit out real quick, faster in a hurry. And it's a different culture, different atmosphere down there. So I think it'll be good for both parties. I think they need somebody to boost them up. Norman Powell down there is doing great. So I think that addition down there would be good for that organization. I even thought about us picking him up, but I think it's too wild and too crazy. And as good as a player he is, I think that the personality wise, we would be in far more trouble than the benefits that we would get of bringing him into this city. So
Yeah.
I think down south will be good for his career long term. Is
So
my
my-
take.
A player like Ja in Orlando would unlock the Orlando guys. A player like Ja in Miami might tone down Ja just a little bit, or turn him up to where he can't play in the league no more. So like he's gonna have to get his act right either way in Miami if he goes there. So
Hey, by the way, thank you
Is
for
it
not
very-
cutting. Thank you for not cutting my my talk about down south, man. I appreciate it.
Well, this is because it's part of the topic. Yeah, it's not being forced on us. This
he's
is
like
part
any
of
other
the topic.
circumstance, it's over, bro. It's
Just,
over.
just notice I didn't mention Miami at all, and he let me talk. As soon as I started talking about Miami or Heat, here he goes. Like
So with my thoughts on Miami is like Curtis said, it'll make or break Ja. There's too much temptation, too much of what got him into trouble in Memphis, in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Between the
bigger
clubs
scale.
and the yeah, exactly, on a much bigger scale. On the flip side, you do have a Pat. Apparently he really respects Spo. So I hope that cultivates a winning mentality, a maturity in him. I still see, even if you watch the London game today, it's like you think you're like, okay, maybe this time off will help him grow, and he still looks like he still looks like the same old job, same old, exactly, like I gotta say this again, it's like, bro, you from the burbs, man. Stop acting like you hood. And Pops set a better example, because Pops is just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Ja's dad is out there like come on, man. You guys aren't them dudes. Stop trying to front like that, and act like where you at. You know what I'm saying? Be who you.
Bro, we've been to the rec league. We know these dudes at the rec league that got a team in the rec league. They got all. We know y'all. Like, just chill out. Just sit down. Your son made it to the league. Just relax.
I think he's not happy in Memphis. Between practicing in the dungeon that Des said there's no windows down there. I don't think he's happy with the organization. And when you're not happy somewhere, look at Jimmy. When Jimmy's not happy, he lets havoc out. And he forces people's hands to move him, right? He moves the needle. So I think that it just got to a point where Ja's not happy with the organization. They weren't going to let him go. So at this point, he's just that rebel child who is not as loud as Jimmy or as tactical as Jimmy was to move. So I think that him moving to a different location, I think that might spark motivation for him to act right, because he is a good athlete, and there's a lot of nonsense that's prevented him from shining. So I hope he does get traded for him, and I hope it's to an organization, whether it's Miami or anywhere else. I hope it's an organization that's going to be able, I don't want to say tame, because he's not an animal to say, but help him mature to understand that his actions has far more consequences for his career and his financial growth than acting amok and acting, foolish.
And to your point, I'm going to stick to him going to Miami, because I think that might be, as we were talking about it, I think that might be the best move for his career right now. There's a lot of things in Miami that can distract him, but there's a lot of things that are in Miami that can elevate his career to the next level. Playing under Pat Riley, playing for a championship organization, playing for a bigger market because Miami's on TV a lot more than Memphis might be, playing with an Olympian and conference finals contender in Bam Adebayo, who's not here in that stage of his career for this bullcrap that you're trying to bring to the city. I don't think none of that will fly right now in Miami. So hopefully those guys, once he gets down there, he'll buy into what they have already going on because Memphis isn't a championship city.
No.
We know that. So
Plus,
like
you
they
got the
have
locker room that'll tell him, "Yo, knock the shit out, bro. Don't ruin it for us."
We don't think that's cool down here. Like that's not cool for us. That might work in Memphis in that small town, but like not small town, but like small town mentality type stuff. This is big city Miami.
Yeah,
like
big market.
You play around too much, the mafia is coming for you. So relax, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
you ain't more gangster than the mafia, so tone it down.
Yeah. So I've had my fill of Miami talk. So the only other trade that I've heard out there is Kuminga, and we know that there's some weird beef between Kerr and Kuminga. I don't get it, but I don't know much about Kuminga's contract or what, but
he's eligible. He's eligible.
I know he's eligible as a couple of days ago. But what are your thoughts? I'm saying as far as the money goes, like what are your thoughts on what would be a possible scenario? Like I don't even know who the Warriors would want or who they're looking at. I don't know if you've heard anything about it. If not, we can ask the peoples to let us know, what's popping with Kuminga, contract, because I feel bad at the same rate. I also feel like Kuminga wants to be a superstar, but hasn't proven superstar tendencies yet. And so I can see the frustration with Steve Kerr, where it's like, nah, bro, you got to know your role and be who you're being. If you want to be an athletic person who's a go-to guy, then you got to act that way. I just don't think he's been putting up, what he feels his value is and what he feels his play style is and everything like that, being the go-to man, the number one option. On the flip side, he doesn't have the minutes to prove it because Kerr won't give him the minutes to prove that, he's that dude.
Well, right now, Golden State is improving themselves. They're a dying dynasty, and they've been talking about it, right? So even bringing Jimmy into their organization, that team is not, something is missing, and it's not Jimmy acting out, right? It's not, because they brought Steph's brother Seth. They brought him in, and then they let him go, and then they re-signed him to make sure that they stay within their cap space. I think they might do the same thing of trying to, unload Kuminga. I don't know who would want him. I don't think Kuminga's done anything worth talking about at the moment. I think he's just one of those type of players that he's just going to fade away because he's created such animosity everywhere he's been, because he was traded there because he didn't want to be where he was, and he's not a player like Jimmy is. Right? Like you can't act out and be picked up somewhere else because you're going to bring value somewhere else. I don't want to say he's not valuable. I just think, again, his character, his behavior has led him where he's at. So I let the chat talk about it. What do you guys think of where he should go? Who would want him? Orlando's not a place for him. I'll tell you that right now. So
I can go for you. Send him to Brooklyn. That trade, Michael Porter Jr., Jonathan Kuminga.
With the money,
send Jonathan Kuminga to Brooklyn.
I don't even know what they signed Kuminga for. If the money's working,
it was something crazy. God. I remember. Was it 2 years ago, right? Oof. It was 2 years ago they signed him, right?
And they let him go.
Yeah, it was. But he had a crazy contract, Jonathan Kuminga. I know Michael Porter Jr. I don't know if his contract is that lucrative.
It was I think it was the extension that they gave, and so they signed to a 2-year extension with, I believe it's a team option for the second year. So so
whatever it was, I thought they were investing in Jonathan Kuminga when I saw the numbers. I was like,
no. The Golden State Warriors, no. It was remember they were in a contract dispute this entire time, and it was they signed him to a pretty big contract with the intent to move him during the season. Okay. So now it's not an if, it's a when. It's been contentious, but any other rumor? I haven't heard any other things, but I'm assuming that in the next 2 weeks, we're going to start hearing the trade rumors start ramping up with the deadline coming February 7th. So, things will get popping soon. But
I got a question for you guys. If we could, not that it's going to happen, but just I want to hear your takes. If we could bring back Cole, would you guys bring him back?
For who?
For Tyus, yeah.
For Tyus.
Yeah.
Would you send?
Because I believe his time in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I believe his time in Milwaukee made him a better table setter when he was over there playing with those guys, because he didn't have to do so much. So like he was distributing the ball a little bit better over there, but he still has a scoring ability in him. Yeah.
Cole is distributing that ball very well over there.
Last thing I saw, because I try to dedicate my time to Magic. So as far as Milwaukee, the last thing I saw was that Cole's actually dipped a lot since
points wise. Yes.
He came off hot, start off hot, but he's lately like dipped off.
They're only playing him 5 to 10 minutes, and he was off for a few games. But what they've said, he's not. He's not, and from what I've heard with the Bucks is they weren't expecting a lot from him the first season, but he did show when he first took off, he was taking off. His passes to Portis, his back, not looking passes. You saw some growth and you saw some development, but then Rollins started playing and overshadowed, and that was the end of it. Rollins took over, he took over that role. And that's why I'm asking if we could get him back, as a trade for Tyus, would you guys want to see him back?
I would, only because I feel like I think Cole is younger than Tyus. Yeah, Cole's definitely younger than Tyus. Yeah. So he would be able to get out there and, be a little bit more athletic and fill out of gaps, know the Magic system better than Tyus already has probably learned it, unless there's a brand new system right now. But I think he would come in and kind of fit a little bit better. Kind of like when you traded out away and he comes back and he's like in that second career, that second wind of his career type thing. I think he would have a resurgence. But we have a lot of problems internally right now with where to play who. So I think bringing him back would be like,
you're not doing things.
Yeah. Not only that I'm also thinking is like, I don't know. It always looked like there was just something between him and Coach Mo. Like very, very short leash. I've seen multiple times where Cole would, and it's frustrating to see him make an errant play that costs a turnover. You could do a regular bounce pass, but he's trying to get fancy, do behind the back pass, and then he turns over, and then Coach Mose will pull him out. So I don't know if there is something there with that it wouldn't work just because Coach Mose doesn't have that. It almost sounds like he lost his patience with Cole Anthony's style of play.
So two things for that. Coach Jeremiah was here last year, but now they got Sham Guy. I think Coach Jeremiah and Sham Guy together was helping a lot of our guys develop on like Jet, like AB. A lot of guys developed their offensive capabilities, and I don't think Cole got that same thing. But Cole is a New York ball player. Like he would have thrived tremendously with Sham Guy in the locker room with him. Being that we might, if the conversation is we're bringing him back, so if we brought him back, then I think he would work out well with that system there. And then secondly, I don't think him and Coach really had an issue, but I don't think Coach had time at that point for Cole to be out there doing Cole things in those moments. In certain situations, like there was a lot of times we left him out there and let him figure it out. But a few of those times it was like, all right, guys, now I'm on the hot seat. Let me make sure we're not out here just doing stuff. Like, Cole, you're not on right now? Cool. I'll put you back in. Because he would take him out, but he would come back in and give him a little bit of time, then take him back out, put him back in, give him a little time. But it would always be, here, these 3 games, Cole's on. These 5 games, Cole's off. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was a lot of up and down with Cole. But, I think him and Mose were tight, but I don't know if that translated to coach player. I know person to person they were great, but player to coach, I don't know how well that worked out as far as giving Cole a bunch of minutes, because Cole wasn't producing in those bunch of minutes. There was a time he was playing 22 minutes and he would have 5 points. You know, so no assist, like just 5 points, just being out there, racking up fouls. You get out there in the first 2 minutes, get 2 fouls. Be like, yo, Cole. There was plenty of games we watched like that last season. Like, you're out there with 6 fouls and you're gonna use all of them. So, man.
So, you know what, Grills? I don't even know. We've never talked about it, so I don't even know. Are you into wrestling, like professional wrestling?
I am, but mainstream like WWE. I don't follow NXT too much. My kids are my eldest son. He's a huge wrestling fan. So
All right. So my segue into talking about wrestling, because obviously, duh, is one thing at the games and I know that NXT, like it's in our backyard. It's Orlando. The performance center is there. They bust us to watch NXT. So for the past about 2 years, NXT had Trick Williams. He worked with Carmelo Hayes for a while. He was like his number 2 guy, and then they feuded, and he's a superstar. He's a superstar in the making. He just debuted on SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. The one thing that really excels Trick is that theme song. Those horns come out, and everybody screams out, "Whoop that Trick!" So one thing I gotta say is, someone who plays the music at the Kia Center during tip off, they're playing that music. Now, please, if you're watching this and you go to the games, or you know someone that goes to the game, please, for the love of everything, tell them to chant "Whoop that Trick" when
they do it in Miami or Memphis. They do it in Memphis. They have a "Whoop that Trick" chant in Memphis for the Grizzlies from Hustle and Flow. They have they play that. They play that. It's hard out here for a pimp. They do that in Memphis. They do
but this is Trick Williams. But this is Trick Williams. This is the trumpets and that bass line.
No, I know what you're talking about.
He's the guy who's playing the audio is playing it. I think he knows that, like, oh, if I play this, they're gonna chant it, and we haven't been. So I'm making this plea. Please, let's chant that Trick. They got that. Yeah, they got that Hustle and Flow "Whoop that Trick." No, we got Orlando, born and raised NXT "Whoop that Trick." That was built in the Performance Center by our hometown fans. They started that. So, but speaking of NXT, segueing over to that, our boy Curve was just recently at the latest NXT. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man. Tell us about it.
All right. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna reconnect my headphones so I can hear you guys better.
All right. So while he's getting that done, just recap a little bit. NXT, it's the third brand. So you got Raw, SmackDown, and then NXT. Then you have Evolve, which is even the development, super development. So NXT is televised development, and you get a lot of superstars that you see now on SmackDown and Raw are coming from NXT. They build a following. Our fans are awesome because they're hardcore wrestling fans, and so a lot of things you start seeing in when they go to the main roster. Like, for instance, when you see Obafemi, when he comes out, you're gonna hear that his song come up, and then you're gonna hear it go, "Oof, dun dun, oof, dun dun, oof." So that's what the fans develop. The fans develop the chants that follow on, and when they get called up to the big leagues. But yeah, so Kurt,
a lot of the fan emotions, a lot of the there's
hold on a second. Michael, how do you feel about AJ Styles running that same play that John Cena did with a farewell tour? And do you think
I'm a fan of farewell tours? I'm a fan of creating urgency, as we saw with the LeBron James fake out. When he had the decision commercial, and it was for Hennessy or something like that. That was whack. I think if he did announce something like that, I'm a big fan of retirement tours. It gives us to kind of like let's pull down the curtain a little bit. We know you're a face or a heel, wrestling terminology, good guy, bad guy. But it's a way to get your flowers in every city, because these guys do tour around everywhere. So it's cool to get your flowers and let the fans really show you and appreciate you. I love AJ Styles, and I'm glad for it. I think I think AJ Styles' match with John Cena was exactly what you want from a wrestling match. It was an homage to the history of wrestling more than anything. They were busting out all these other people's moves, finishers, just going through it. It was told beautifully. It was a storybook. It was a love letter to wrestling fans, and I appreciate it that much. And AJ Styles gives 110% everything he does, and so I am a big fan of the retirement tour.
Yeah. And just to segue back to NXT, man, I went there this past week. It was the return of Miss Parker, Jada Parker. She came back. I saw. Yeah, I've been going to NXT for a minute. I saw. Yeah. I was there when Montez Ford, freaking what was her name? Oh man, I think Rhea Ripley was still around at that point. But it was a lot of talent that's on the main stage now. Carmelo was there. Lash Legend was there when I first started going. Shout out to my boy Malik Blade. Yeah, Asuka was. Yep. All of those people, man. It was a lot of people. The Schism. I forgot who those people were in the Schism. There was a stable called the Schism. Now Ava, she left the Schism and is the GM of the whole NXT. The Rock's daughter,
in fact,
Ava Rain.
The head of the Schism is now he's in the White Six.
There you go. You see what I'm saying? So like they spawn off into different places, man. It's hard to keep up. There's so many wrestlers that come
So I
through
gotta
there.
ask you, when you're at the show, who do you feel is the next big talent that's gonna pop out?
So from the men's division, I would say there was about 3 or 4 guys. What's his name? Jasper Troy kind of caught my eye. He was a decent big guy, locks, but he was moving well to be that big, and it reminded me of a Bray Wyatt kind of mover. Like he was real big, but real agile and had a lot of power behind his moves. Him and there was another guy, I can't remember his name right now. He's an Olympic athlete. He was in the Olympics.
He's part of he was with the former Catch Crew. Oh man, the names leave me right now as well. I know you wrestled.
He had like a neon teal kind of. Yeah, but yes. he's very agile. I liked how he presented out there. Just character-wise, they all can use some mic work. You know, they're in NXT. You know, they're going to develop more. But as far as that went, the whole roster came out at the beginning of the night, so that was good to see. You know, she suspended the title above the ring, so that's something
it's like a reboot.
That's going to linger on. Yeah,
Boba Fett's going to be a star, and he had the NXT championship, defended it very well against was it Lester? I forgot his name, but homeboy. It was great. Slater.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Leon.
Yeah, the Chase U guys, all of those guys, they're, you know, going. I forgot the girl's name that was with Chase U, but she's now on the main roster, I think, on Raw.
No.
So
she has her own. She's from Chase U. No, Thea is still you know, she's still in NXT.
Oh, who was the girl with the braids? She was really short.
Oh,
she was strong. Yes. She was better.
She was with the brothers. Oh my goodness, they're all part of American Made now.
Not Stax. Yeah. It wasn't Stax. Stax was there. Stax, he was.
Yeah, Stax is the TNA NXT. I like that. I like the collaboration too. See a lot of back and forth.
So it was
but there was someone there. Who's the guy? Who's the guy you know?
My guy Malik Blade, man. Shout out to him. He was out with an ACL injury for a while, man. But he's coming back. You know what I'm saying? He's a high flyer. He's like a new version of Booker T, but with a little bit more cruiserweight moves. You know, so imagine Booker T with some cruiserweight style with him. So like he's you know, he used to pair with Aegis Sanafe. He's not with the WWE anymore, but Malik Blade's still here now. So I'm excited for my boy to come back, man. Shout out to him. But you know, he's getting back off that injury. Take your time. ACLs is not a joke. So we know that for sure.
That's Bob. He knows all about ACL tears now.
Exactly. So speaking of asking Mo Gardner, NXT, man, y'all need to go ahead and tap in with the Magic and get some Magic players out there to the NXT facility. Try to get them on screen. We done had Tyrese Halliburton a couple seasons.
Oh yeah, come on. We need our players up there. We can't have Tyrese Halliburton and freaking Jalen Brunson. taking that? No, man.
You don't think Jace Richardson would be entertaining in the NXT facility? You don't think Noah Pendle would come in there and clothesline somebody real quick?
Question is, which one of our Magic player are real in-depth wrestling fans?
I don't know.
We don't know.
That's a question. Hey, Orlando Magic, give us some media credentials so we can ask the hard-hitting questions like, do you watch wrestling? Who is your wrestler?
Which era do you like? Is it ruthless aggression? Is it the Attitude Era? Where are we at? Like,
you give us media credentials, and I'm gonna ask them, yo, what's your Grail in your closet? Right? What was your Grail before you got signed? Did you find that Grail? And what's your current Grail now? See, those are good questions to ask players.
And I'm gonna ask, who's your favorite hip hop artist? And we in there. What's up? We got 3 questions for y'all. Media team, what we doing, man? Imagine media is trying to be in there with you guys.
You need some flavor up in there, some spice up in there. Let's get it going.
You guys don't want to keep talking about stats and stuff all day. They want to talk about something else. So.
Yeah. But again, for us to get media credentials, we need you fans to help us out. So, description below, I'm going to put a link to how to stay in contact with us, our socials. We're going to have an email list to sign up, and we're going to start doing some giveaways, to drum up some followers and support. One of the things that we're going to do first up is
tell them about the giveaway.
It's a Desmond Bane auto right here. Look at that. Beautiful Desmond Bane signature there. This is going to be up for grabs. So be on the lookout, sign up for the email list, and we'll let you know how to participate and how to get your chance to get that. We'll do some stuff, work with the local community as well. I know it's been on our IG, and we'll go ahead and repost that too, so look out for it. I gave away 2 of my tickets to the Raptors game, and now I know that this Raptors game is going to be serious. It's going to be important. We're in the hunt with them, back and forth, up and down with them. So this game is going to be important. I put a raffle up there to help a local high school. They're $20 an entry. It's almost in a grid system. It's like squares, like almost like the 100 squares that you do for football. But basically, you buy your square, and we'll do a little spin the wheel type thing, and whoever wins those low bowl seats. Those are my season ticket seats. They're low bowl. They're row 11 in section 108, which is right above the Orlando Magic tunnel. So they're amazing seats. People who have used them, they love them. They say, it's a great experience. So let's go help the community. Let's do some good and toss it off back to Curve.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me for the wheel. Thank everybody who's been voting on our polls on Instagram for our designs. We came up with those designs, and we wanted to know which designs you guys like. So thank you all for voting. We almost have the 3rd design. By the time this video comes out, we'll have all 3 of the designs from each category. We did Jalen Suggs, we did Franz Wagner, and we did Desmond Bane. We had 3 different designs. Now, the best of those 3 designs will be competing head-to-head for which design goes on the T-shirt for you to win as a Magic fan. All you have to do is make sure.
Wait. Are we not gonna put the AB with that dunk? I mean, AB deserves a spot.
He needs a shirt, so we can design that after. So let's get these 3 out of the way, and let's get that AB design working. We might even throw the Killer Bees out there with it. Who knows? But we have some designs coming for you guys after these designs. But once we get these 3 designs solidified, you will be voting on the winner of that design. It will be on a T-shirt. You have to like the page. You have to subscribe to the page on YouTube. You have to like and follow us on Instagram. And you have to comment, followed, and send a screenshot that you followed the page on Instagram. So we know.
We'll have everything down in the description.
All those instructions, you'll be able to get there. I know I'm long with it, so it's kind of hard to keep up with.
Make sure you guys are following our personal pages, El Mágico, Curve, and yours truly. Make sure you're following us in Another Magic Minute to be able to participate in that shirt. So, food for thought.
All you got to do is follow the pages and let us know. Screenshot it. Let us know you followed us. We'll get you entered into the contest. It's free for you.
Yep. And for those that don't follow socials, don't keep up on don't doom scroll or anything like that. Sign up on our email list, and we'll reach out to you and let you know what's going on.
Yep. And we do have a Patreon. We're going to drop that link as well. We will be uploading our designs onto there once we do have the T-shirts made. So if you would like to purchase one later on down the line after we give away our design, you can do that. We'll be selling merch on there once we come up with our Magic Minute merch as well. So just tap in. There's a lot of things coming. We have some interviews coming up soon. I don't want to drop any names just yet, but be on the lookout. If you see us, we got stickers. We got stuff to give you. You know, Mexico always got the stickers in his pocket, so make sure y'all run up on him when you see him. He's got everything. When you see Gotham Grails, make sure y'all give him a big welcome back because he's been out with injury all season, man. When our
Just
guy
like
comes
our
back, we
Magic.
got
I
to
mean,
give him
it's
the
not
more
a quote.
positive.
That's how much we are like the Magic. We live the Magic life. We even get injured like the Magic life, dude. You know, I got ACLs. I got meniscus tears. You know, we feel you. We feel you. So
look, I've been out. You guys been seeing I haven't posted any content on my personal page. I've got a torn Achilles, and now I've got a bulged disc in my back, so I'm not mobile right now. Hence why you haven't seen me at the meet and greets, but I'm working on getting better so we could do some live content for you guys.
Guy's been the man in the chair all season, man. Shout out to him. Give him, you know what I'm saying? Give him a salute when you see him, man. He's been holding it down from the crib. So
appreciate you.
Hey man, is anything else y'all want to tap on before we get out of here? We just wanted to tap in with you guys. Like I said, everything's gonna be in the description. So make sure y'all tap in with us. But anything before we get out of here, you guys want to say?
Hey, do we want to announce the next episode, what we're gonna be doing, or we're just gonna throw hints on IG?
Just hints.
Tell them to tap in on the IG. Tap in on the IG.
Tap in. We got something special for you guys. We got a special guest coming at a special location. We're going to drop hints. We're going to give you details. And it's going to be something incredible. Yeah.
It's going to be special, man. So make sure y'all. Michael, you want to kick us out of here, man?
Yeah. So thanks. Season 2, kicking it off. We're going to be here as often as possible for the second half of the season. See us hopefully go into the postseason. And with that, for Mr. Magic Minute J Curve, Gotham Grails, it is me and Mahiko, and this has been another Magic Minute.
Let's go.